Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Three Warlocks podcast. This is episode 22. I'm your host, Vega, and with me, like always, I have my other two co-hosts and my other two warlocks with me, and they are Snail and Ness. How are you guys doing today?
Woo-hoo.
Good. I'm confused. It's a Saturday, but I'm good.
Yes, we have to record a little bit, I guess a little bit late, you can say, but it is Saturday, so the episode does drop on a Saturday typically, and it will drop on a Saturday, just a little bit later in the afternoon. That's all. Perfect. Okay, well, how was you guys' weekends?
It was good. I've been to the dentist for the first time in 27 years.
Well, that's
that
awful.
Must have been gross.
Apparently my teeth are perfect, so it's all good.
Oh my god! Now,
Here in the States, you have to go to the dentist once every 6 months, recommended. So my appointment is April 1st, which I know Ness brought up. That's April Fool's Day. But dentists usually have a funny way of kind of making you pay more than you really need. You go in there for a cleaning, they take x-rays, and before you know it, they're like, hey, sir, everything looks good. We just need to replace every single tooth at the bottom of your jawline. So it gets a little crazy sometimes.
I avoid anything that looks like danger.
I went to the dentist last month and he asked me something really odd that no dentist has ever asked me. He goes, so what don't you like about your smile? So I was like, nothing. I think it's okay. I have some fillings that need to be replaced. And he came out with, and I shit you not, like a 3-page list of everything he wanted to do. And I just gave him my wallet. So.
They know best, right? Jeez, man.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
Cool.
So Snail, you haven't been to this in 27 years. This is interesting. 27, right? You said 23.
27 years.
That's very interesting. So any problems? Nothing was found there? Because if I miss my 1 6-month dentist appointment, I have like cavity AIDS or something. I found some new disease in there. So I don't know. I wasn't sure. Do you guys have like a special kind of tooth paste out there in England or something?
No. So
I've
never had any. I've not had any issues with my teeth ever. So I've never been to the dentist since I was in my teens. And in fact, I went to have a clean yesterday, and she was like, "You've had no fillings. Your teeth are perfect. Me cleaning them, they'll be perfect again."
Wow!
I'm like, oh, great.
I better give you the number of that dentist.
I know.
You guys don't have any sugar or anything out there, right? Any like sweets? You probably guys don't have none of that stuff. That's the thing that
The EU banned it all.
Really?
Bull.
Oh my god!
You're lying.
No, anything that's unhealthy, the EU banned quite quickly. That's why we've exited. That's why we did Brexit. So now we can do unhealthy things.
Wait, so you don't have Snickers, Twix?
Well, we have them, but they have to be a specific
Those
sugar
are
content.
unhealthy.
Hey Ness, they're smuggling candy over there.
They're smuggling candy. Priorities.
We have a drug problem in America. They have a smuggling candy problem.
They have a sugar problem.
I got 99 problems. Sugar isn't one of them.
Yeah, I know. Jeez.
Oh man.
All right. Well, let's get into the TWAB. This week at Bungie was dropped. It's a smaller TWAB. A little bit of information there. A lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about. There's Iron Banner next week. We're going to go and talk about Isa tomorrow. The drop rates. We're going to talk about a certain battle, not monsters versus dinosaurs, because we know how that thing ended up. Jesus. There's going to be a battle of people were wondering who would win in a battle between a hive captain and then a Wvren. How do you say that?
Baby turkey.
Baby turkey. We're going to call them baby turkeys.
We'll go with that.
Wvren. There's going to be some updates going to be happening, and then we'll talk a little bit about trials. And at the end of the show, we have the lore corner with Snail, which is going to continue the story that he's been bringing to us each and every week about the Presage mission, and then some other stuff attached to some flavor texting on weapons. So we're going to be looking into that. So let's start with the intro of the TWAB, which was very interesting this week. Snail asked me what was happening in America, because this is the way Bungie started their TWAB this week. They said we want to start this TWAB off by speaking about the tragic events from earlier this week. The violence against the Asian American community in Atlanta wasn't an isolated event. Hate crimes against Asian Americans have recently surged across major cities in the US over the last year. Everyone at Bungie stands with the Asian community during this difficult time, and our hearts go out to the victims of this senseless act and their families. One of our goals is to continue to build communities around our game where everyone feels safe to be who they are and free to build friendships without the fear of hate or discrimination. Please join us in making a donation to aid efforts to provide support and advocacy to those in need. To donate, support, and learn more how you can help, please visit IamReadyMovement.org. Thank you for supporting our AAPI families and friends. Enjoy the TWAB. Well, yeah, Snail brought up that Snail's from across the ocean, and he was kind of confused. He was wondering what was going on in America during he was wondering what was going on in America, where Bungie were to bring this up in the beginning of the TWAB. So what happened, it was some sort of shootings that took place in Atlanta, and they targeted massage parlors. I believe there was multiple. There wasn't just one. There was multiple ones. And I believe 9 people lost their lives. About 7 of them being Asian American women. So that's what transpired during that time. And it made me think a little bit about, when I was reading the TWAB, it made me think about the things that we have done as a human, as humans, as mankind over the last 100 years, 500 years, last 1,000 years. We have advanced so much in architecture. We have done the impossible. We have put a person on the moon. We have taken 2,000-pound machines of pure steel and metal and put them on the air, put them on the ocean. We have advanced so far in technology. We have agriculture. The things that we have done within the last 50 years alone is amazing, is inspiring, it's mind-boggling, I guess you can say. The thing that I don't understand is, why can we not move as a society and stop something so minor and insignificant as fucking prejudice? Why do we have to be talking about this in 2021? I mean, Bungie did not have to do this. Bungie is a video game developer. Bungie is a video game company. They should not be the voice of reason when it comes to this. I love it that they're doing this, but it should not get to the point that we are starting off a TWAB, a podcast, and talking about something so senseless and stupid as prejudice. I mean, that just boggles my fucking brain. I cannot explain it. I mean, there's no words. It's stupid. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
we're
sorry
not
to kill
learning
the
from
mood there.
mistakes.
No, I mean, but it's nonsensical at this point in time. We've made all these advancements, you know, like you said, even with technology, medicine, I mean, all science, and we're still caught up on pigmentation, gender, and culture. Like, why at this point? And it's amazing that it takes a game developer to still kind of say, this is not okay. And like I said the last time, once again, they don't ignore social issues, and it's nice to know that these are people that their inclusivity, they actually take that for real. You know, they're not just kind of talking over the top or anything like that to just kind of check a box. So it's ridiculous at this point. I don't understand it.
Yeah, and people hide behind things. So funny enough, this week there was an issue in a football match where a player was racially abused, but the powers that be didn't take it seriously because there was no footage that showed the racial abuse. The problem was the player that racially abused the other player covered his mouth so you couldn't read what he said, but there was no microphones to pick it up. So one, you'd have to question, why was he covering his mouth to have a conversation with somebody in the first place? And actually, isn't the person's recollection of what happened enough to convict somebody of that type of racial abuse? Yeah,
I mean, it's insane that, like I said, it was 2021. We're 21 years into a new millennia, I guess you can say, and we're still having this discussion. We're still talking about this. I think we need to to sit down as a community, sit down as people, and just teach the future generations that this is not right. And hopefully, in time, all this stuff will change. I mean, that's the only thing I can hope for. And what's nice about Bungie is that they do give out that area where you can help out if you want to donate, and that will support, and provide advocacy to those who need that stuff. Is you have to go to IamReadyMovement.org, all one word, .org, and show your support by making a small donation and helping out the cause for that. Let's start, or let's talk about some Grandmaster Nightfalls. Now this week we're going to be talking about the Devil's Lair. I believe that's the Grandmaster for this week. That's where Septic's Prime, right? I guess he's the main boss in there. Septic's, yeah. That's an old D1 raid. It was reissued. It's pretty nice, pretty good. I like it. You make sure you crank that volume up to 11 because it has one of the most sickest, I guess, soundtrack for the for that specific Nightfall. But this week they're going to be dropping the new adept weapon. I believe it's called the Swarm, and it's a Grandmaster Nightfall, so it's going to be a little tough, a little different. Have you guys had a chance to kind of run through them and kind of check it out, see how difficult it is?
Yeah, we tried last night, and you're right about the music. So I spent the last 20 minutes of that Nightfall dead, watching the other two guys, Jay and Rob, trying to finish the boss off. And we got to the last segment of health, and then Jay died, and then Rob promptly died straight afterwards, which was a shame. So we all went back to orbit, but it was great fun. It's very difficult. We had a plan in place that kept us alive for most of it. But yeah, it is challenging. One shot by snipers half a mile away behind a wall. Brilliant. Pretty
tough, yeah. I had a chance to visit Duke is Cool, one of our friends of the show, and he was running the Grandmaster Nightfall himself too. And I was kind of picking his brain. He does a good job about engaging, the other people in the chat. And I was asking him, what's the best loadout? What's your I guess strategy when it comes to doing this? And he likes having a sniper with him. He likes having a bow. Anarchy, I guess, it's always useful for something like that. He was using arc because I believe this season the arc grenade provides that I guess staggering for some of the champions. So yeah, he was using the Warlock with the Jesus beam, shooting it straight up at people, and he was doing pretty good. I caught the tail end of the very last fight when he was fighting Septics, and that strategy seemed to work pretty good. I wasn't sure what kind of bow he was using, but he was definitely doing some damage on that.
When I watched him the other day, he was using Eye of the Needle, which is the seasonal bow, the void one, which helps with the void shields on the servitors at the end. We ran with Jay on Divinity, all of us with rockets, and then I had Tiku's Divination, and Rob had Trinity Ghoul. Tiku's Divination was doing work, I got to say, because you can just spam the no-look shot and track the arrows across. It was doing some brilliant work, loads of solo explosions. But yeah, having Jay with Divinity made light work of any overload champs. It was only till he ran out of ammo that it caused an issue. And we all ran with snipers. So yeah, snipers do work. If you're looking at the barrier champions, there's a couple of shots and they're down.
Okay. Well, let's recap on that. What light level, Snail, you might know this, what light level do you have to be to even start a Grandmaster Nightfall?
So you have to be 1325 to get in. Okay. And you're capped at 1325 anyway, so it doesn't matter if you're over that. That's right. You'll be at 1325 no matter what, because it's contest modifier. So it's 1350 is the level of the people you're facing. So you'll always be 25 levels underneath. So get yourself to 1325 and then join in the fun. We tried to help Pete get to there the other day, doing some pinnacles for him. But I think it sits more with your artifact being higher level, so getting that seasonal level up will give you the opportunity to get in there quicker, I guess.
Yeah.
Grind some bounties.
Yeah, that mode has a horde of champions. It's match games, so it's everything that's really difficult about the PvE content, and Bungie just throws it all in there for you. If you guys don't want to try it, I recommend you guys do. Just go for it, because you never know. You might find them exciting. You might find them fun for yourself, the challenge, and at the same time, you will get some pretty sweet loot, because this PvE, end content game is really rewarding. From what I was watching, some of the streams from Duke is Cool, he was getting a lot of those adept, swarms, and he was getting golf balls and shards and stuff like that. So he was getting some pretty good stuff. So, I mean, even if that's not your thing, Bungie has a lot of multiple things going on right now. They're still continuing the storyline through the season of the Jesus, I forgot what season of the
Chosen.
Chosen. I was about to say worthy. I was like, geez, I went back 20 years. Yeah, they still have so much stuff going on with the season of the Chosen. They still have a lot of stuff going on with Europa too, and there's going to be some things happening next week, and that's something that Ness and I always look forward to, because that's our Christmas once a month.
That's right, 10 a.m. on March 23rd through 10 a.m. March 30th. Iron Banana is back, aka Iron Banner. So it's going to have also bonus valor. There's going to be bounties with some more weapons to earn. So Bungie's telling you, take your team out, either go with a fire team or go in the solo mode, and go and enjoy yourself. So if mayhem is your thing, Iron Banana is the place to go.
There you go, man. That's going to be so much fun. I always like Iron Banner. I've always have, but trying to be the right light level for it, it can be a little difficult sometimes. But yeah, if you like Ness says, next week, 10 a.m., get ready and make Lord Saladin happy, which I'm kind of interesting about that, because this is the first time Lord Saladin's coming back to the tower after talking so much shit about Zavala previous weeks, man.
I know.
So I wonder if he's going to be like, hey, Zavala,
I think there's a jealousy with Ikora. There's a thing with Ikora.
So that's gonna be exciting to see that, to see him out in the tower again. So hopefully Zavala and Lord Saladin don't get into a fight or anything like that. But anyway, let's talk about some Eyes of Tomorrow issues, or patches, I guess you can say. Snail, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yep. So the first thing that's happening with Eyes is we're finally getting an update which acknowledges the fact that damage has been reduced. So when at the beginning of the season we updated rockets to do more damage, they inadvertently damaged Eyes of Tomorrow, so it's doing less damage against bosses than it should do. So that's going to be fixed in hotfix 3.1.1.1. I feel like we need to say 0.1 more often. It seems like they're all the time. I don't know why they just say 3.2 by now. Yeah. We're still on 3.1.1.1.1.
Fix the same
anyway.
One still.
So they're going to fix the damage, and it's going to make it pretty damn good, I would have said. So I've been using it quite a bit since getting it. I gotta say, in Gambit, it is a go-to weapon because you can just invade for days and destroy the enemy teams. I think I started with only ever having 4 army of ones, only 2 I did myself, and then 2 nested for me to get my title many moons ago. At the end of this week, I've killed over 300 guardians and had another 11 army of ones, because the thing is just nuts.
It's good
against guardians. I don't see too much in Crucible, and I don't know why, but I see it all the time in Gambit. It's the Gambit Code 2 weapon. Interestingly, if you're using it after the fix against Septix, Septix Prime is classed as a major, not a boss, which means actually currently you can do more damage against Septix than you could have done in the future, weirdly. So use it now if you're going to use it in that particular strike. But yeah, great news that they're going to fix it. And that's happening on the 23rd of March. So perfect. That's not all that's changing.
I know there's some other stuff
No,
changing.
there's
I heard
also
the drop rates
drop
happening,
rate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't have Eyes of Tomorrow, there's a reason. After some digging, Bungie realized that their bad luck protection, which meant that the more you actually rated, the better chance that you would actually get it, if you didn't get it.
Okay.
So unfortunately, they realized that they had not done it account-based, but character-based. So if you had 3 accounts, 3 different characters, and you actually did it 3 times, you would think that you would have 15%. Actuality, you would actually have just 5% per that character. So you weren't getting any closer. So now with the hotfix 3.1.1. circa 15-B, also happening on the 23rd, they're going to be combining all your raid completions, so the chances will be corrected. So the bad luck protection was supposed to increase, eventually reaching to 100% guarantee drop. So this reward is for those who actually are consistently raiding. So you will actually, if you have 1 character, you won't really notice, but if you have 3 characters, you will actually notice that your chances are going to actually increase as they intended originally.
It's good to know. So Bungie dropped the
Yeah.
ball.
I'm gonna
Then
get it.
they
I'm gonna
picked it
get
up,
it this time,
and then they
guys.
dropped it again, and then they picked it up. So the only person from
Yeah.
us that doesn't have it is Ness, I believe, right? Is that correct?
That's right. I've got it twice.
Yep.
So his protection was working perfectly.
Well, bizarrely, I was saying to Ness earlier, when I look back after reading this, it transpired that my luck on my Titan was the same luck as my Warlock. So they done it both the same number of times if it was on 1 character base. So on that clear, they both got that Isa tomorrow. So it must be tied the amount of times you done it on completions. And I'm reading this going, well, that makes sense now why I got it twice, because it was based on 1 character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's interesting about Eyes is that
I mean, that's awesome.
What's interesting about Eyes is that exotic is hard to get. You know, it's kind of like you get super excited whenever you get it. It kind of gives you vibes of like, maybe Ness might remember this, when you got the Gallahorn for the first time, because it was so hard to get it. You would get so excited, you would start screaming, you would get really excited for that weapon. And I think Eyes is kind of bringing that excitement back to exotics. I think we haven't really got an exotic that we are gotten out in a while that we get excited for. Most of the exotics that we have on this season, which I do like the way Bungie is doing this now. You physically have to go into content, Lost Sector, you know, difficult, and go out there and earn it, you know, and get it, which is amazing, which is good. But the Eyes of Tomorrow is a little different because it's has the potential to be a really good weapon, and it's going to be, you know, after this patch. And it's exciting to see that excitement behind the weapon, you know, getting it out in the wild, which is kind of cool. I did really like that. So yes, like Ness says, March 26th, they're going to have that patch 3.1.1.1.1.1.1 and 0.1, and it's going to be available for some players. The only thing I do have a question on is I hope your chances don't reset back to 0. I hope that.
No, they said they're going to already, they're rounding everything up.
Okay,
whatever you've done.
That's good to know. That was the only question I had. Well, if you guys ever wondered, I'm sure you guys did this when you were growing up, who would win in a fight between Spider-Man and Cyclops, or who would win in a fight between Superman and Batman, which we pretty much find out who would win in that. That's not a secret there. But now the Bungie community is getting into, I guess, a debate. You know, we had the first who would win kind of voting thing on, you know, Team Monster and Team Dinosaurs, and Dinosaurs took that. That was more of you know, eye pleasing, you know, armor, you know, aesthetics, I guess you can say. But this
easy win.
This is an actual physical battle between 2 of the most annoying and pretty strong enemies in the Destiny universe. That is a hive captain and also a robotic chicken. I guess they call it. It's a Wvren.
Baby dragon.
Baby dragon. I guess we call them baby dragons.
Big turkey.
But that's a good question I could ask you guys. Who do you think will win the fight? And why? And why? How about that? Anybody want to take this?
Baby dragon only has like 1 move. That's it.
Taking captain, once they span those little blight things that coming towards the amount of times I've been stood there going, I can't see anything, I'm dead.
Yeah. Baby dragon has 1 move, and he takes too long to even get to that move. So
see, I think as far as I know, I kind of went in through Reddit, and they were kind of putting on the damage numbers, and the baby dragon or the Wvren has more damage output,
really,
like you said, than the hive captain. When it comes to elusiveness and speed, Hive Captain takes it. You know, he can move around and kill you with speed. But when it comes to sheer force and damage output, that baby dragon packs a punch. And we know that because when those things hit us, you know, they shoot, they jump up, do that Titan, I guess, Superman slam.
Yeah,
They do some pretty damage, man. I
they
think
do.
I'm more, I think I get annoyed more when I get killed by a baby turkey than I do a hive captain. Hive captain is kind of like a given because they're so fast, you're not going to catch them, you know. But that's a debate that's going on right now on Twitter. So I hope they had I wish they had a way where you can vote. I don't know. I don't think they did that this time, huh? They didn't did like a poll or anything like that.
No, I think it was just a vote on Twitter, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's very interesting. But yeah, check that out, guys. Check who you think is going to win. Hopefully next time they might give us some other options. I would like to see strike bosses versus each other, or raid bosses versus each other. Who would win between them?
I thought you were going to go for Zavala against Saladin.
Yeah, Zavala against Saladin. Ooh, that's a good one, dude. I don't know. I actually don't
One's
know.
400 years old.
I know.
But looks
old
like
man,
he's 35.
Old man Saladin. I don't know if he'll be able to keep up with Zavala. Zavala would just talk him to death. I don't know.
Oh my God. He just died of boredom.
Okay.
Guy.
Well, the TWAB continues. Ghost in the Shell. Our team of player support experts are hunting down any odd issues and making some fixes that are being tracked on, and these are the ones that we know of. So when they update 3.1.1, they're going to be fixing an issue or adjusting the wrist runner, the perk, the VFX. They're going to be reducing the Arbalest aim assist, which I talked about last week. And then they're going to fix multiple Ascendant Challenge triumphs. Also, keep in mind, it's not listed here, but they are going to be fixing or adjusting a lot of those stasis things that they were going to fix. Last week, we brought up a numerous things that they're going to be changing, which is only going to affect PvP, which is nice. PvE is going to stay unaffected. So there's also going to be fixing an issue where they prevent they fix an issue where they're going to prevent scan and heroic VIP patrols from appearing on Europa. I think we had a little gimmick there, huh? Me and Snail, we were going to a lost sector, get out, and hopefully we'll make them pop up and stuff. So now that's not going to be an issue. You're going to be able to get them a lot quicker than usual. Fix an issue where the frozen time ornament couldn't be equipped to the no time explain. We talked about that last time. Was one of the known issues, and they're taking care of it. Fix an issue where the cause of Eyes of Tomorrow to do less damage than intended against yellow bar enemies. So that was one of the things that Snail was talking about too, where it does more damage to mini bosses than it does to main bosses. So that's going to be taken care of also too in the next update. And then the stasis changes that we talked about. That's going to be things that we're going to be getting the next update, which is going to be perfect. Iron Banner is going to be dropping. All these fixes are going to be available. So Iron Banner is going to be good, I think, because we're not going to be getting spammed by stasis as much as I think that we are. We may see a lot more Warlocks with stasis, but no more Hunters shadow diving, no more Titans running 2.5 minute supers all over the map. So that's going to be good. Something to look forward to. So also with the return of some high-end PvP thing like Iron Banner, this week, and actually yesterday, we got the return of something that was gone for a week or two, and I believe that's Trials.
Yeah. Trials back. So it's been taken away past couple of weeks after players found they could do a nice little gamble between themselves and rejoin matches and make themselves flawless, like killing anybody. Perfect. Really, there was no harm in doing that because those who played properly could play properly still. People in the background could do a nice little win luck trade and cheat some victories, which is great. But that's now been fixed. So now if you disconnect, you can't reconnect. So Trials now fixed and back on. Although for me, it's still very, very painful. I played last night. And people are saying that there's loads of people jumping off the map. We played properly last night and didn't do any jumping off the map. And we never faced anyone who was jumping off the map. It was a complete, how do I describe it? Nightmare of people sliding with shotguns, stasis everywhere, ability spam gone completely wrong. I'm seeing people that are 40 levels lower than me able to ability spam and shotgun me. It's like, what is the point of having like enabled thing? And make matters even worse, all the flawless people are just farming the 3-win card, which is all the things that we need to get fixed in trials. So it's a complete ball ache to go in there. But it's worth going in if you want the hand cannon, because the hand cannon is pretty cool.
Yeah, you're right. So this week the hand cannon is a 3-win, and also the bounty reward. So if you get a certain percentage of wins and losses, it'll give you that weapon. I don't know what the 5-win and the 7-win. I believe the 7-win is a sword, if I remember correctly. Maybe
5 wins is the chess piece.
Oh, okay.
Which is why no one's bothering to go to 5 wins. Just keep repeating the 3 wins, get another hand cannon until you get the god roll. So Bungie have made it harder just by doing that. It's just beyond belief. The reward system in that structure is completely wrong.
Yeah, remember that in season 15 or 16, I'm not quite sure, there are going to be reworking trials. So hopefully they will take those things into account, stuff that Snail brought out. You know, why are flawless guys continuing to be in the same pool as people who have not gone flawless? Why are we going up against people with 6 wins against people with 2 wins? So hopefully they'll figure something out and, you know, take care of that issue. Well, as we continue on, there were some people that did not receive their Bright Dust previous weeks. There was some sort of glitch, and then Bungie decided to give back to its community. So I believe there was 337,000 players who received some Bright Dust that was missing from them from doing things like Crucible Gambit and Vanguard Strike challenges. That's a lot. That's a lot of people, and that's a lot of Bright Dust that got refunded. I did not get any. I think I didn't have an issue. Did you guys have an issue with that? Did you guys get any? No,
I didn't notice it. Although I did the challenges each week, so I might have got something back. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a lot of Bright Dust that got refunded. So they said that's not going to be an issue anymore. That got resolved. So something to look forward to. All right. Well, that was an issue that got resolved. Let's talk about other weekly known issues. And with that, we turn to our greatest correspondent ever, Ness, who knows anything and everything about weekly issues.
Thank you, Vega. Thank you. So these are the latest issues that were reported on the help forum. So one of them is kind of odd. Apparently the game would crash if players didn't have their ghost shell equipped, which I don't know how that's possible, but apparently it happened. One of the things that really made Snail happy was that the 5th feather in Harbinger wasn't spawning on week 3 or 4, and then the 4th one wasn't spawning on week 2. Oh, I read that wrong.
Yeah.
Snail wasn't happy about that.
No, Snail's not happy about that.
My bad.
As I keep reporting each week since they fixed it, and we can now get the bloody Triumph. You can't get the damn Triumph because they're not bloody put the feathers in place. I mean, how
Now,
stupid
I have
can
a
you
question for you. I have a question for you. Could it be because your colorblind mode is on? You can't see it.
It could be.
You can't see the bright yellow feather.
No,
maybe that's what.
But this time I took Rob with me, and Rob couldn't see it either.
Oh, so the blind
So
lead. Didn't you just say that the blind leading the blind?
It doesn't work. Didn't you say that? Oh man. So a couple of other things that PS5 players were having an issue where there was random lines appearing on awoken characters, and also if they turned on their PS5, the Destiny audio would come back really muffled and crazy.
Horrible.
So that's what happens when you're PS5 rich people. That's what happens. Ultra combatant health bars displaying inconsistent to their icons and other more powerful enemy types in multiple colorblind mode. Bungie feels the same way I do for the colorblind community. This is them messing with you guys. I just want to put it out there. Okay, so once again, the colorblind community has come through. I'm pretty sure this was Snail who reported this one, and has put themselves again on the top of the known issues board. Congratulations.
Go colorblind community.
Go colorblind community. See orange. So Inside Terminus wasn't counting for Triumph progression. PCs have been crashing. They're looking into that. Heavy ammo on some of the maps, I guess Distant Shore map, was actually spawning underneath the map, which is odd. Gambit stats, when you complete a match, you know how you can actually tab over to see what the stats were as far as how much damage you caused to the primeval. That wasn't actually working. And then one of the ones that I thought was really funny was Sola Scar in Spanish was translating as solar scar, which kind of makes me laugh because that had to sound really funny on their part. So these are kind of just a short list of all the ones that I thought were really funny. But there are more on the known issues article, so you can go ahead and look that up and see what other issues that they're tracking.
Yes, awesome.
Boom.
Thank you, Ness.
Just on
Appreciate it.
colorblindness.
Oh,
There
please,
was
we'll
a
talk
gr-
about
th-
it.
there was a great bit last night in our Grandmaster Nightfall with Jay, who found it very ironic that he's there next to me and he suddenly says to me, "Snail, watch out for the red line, it's going to kill you." And I go, "What red?" And then I die. And he was like, "It's so ironic that you've got colorblind mode on and you cannot see the red line from the spider tank that is aiming straight at you to kill you." I was like, "Well, no, I can't see that.
What did it look like on your screen, by the way?
I couldn't see anything."
Oh my
Didn't
God.
see anything.
He
Congratulations.
found it hysterical. But
Oh my
the
God.
irony in me cheating does not work.
You're
Well,
a
guys,
poser.
that's pretty much the TWAB in a nutshell. It wasn't as big as we were talking about. There was a lot of stuff that they're going to be, dropping next week, which I do feel next week's TWAB is going to be a little bit meatier. It's going to have more stuff. Just like any other TWAB, they have some videos of the week, movies of the week. You can check them out. Some artists, feature artists, which is something nice that they're doing. Check them out. They're really, really nice. The way Cosmo ends is by saying that they're getting right in the middle of season of the Chosen, and the storyline seems to me like it's about to explode into something great. So we have already seen an assassination attempt on Savala. We've already seen the way Crow is growing before our eyes. So we're seeing the anger that Lord Saladin has. Osiris is kind of doing his own weird cryptic stuff. So there's a lot of stuff happening, a lot of stories, and I have a feeling Bungie's going to tie them all together. Keep in mind that next week we're going to be getting a new strike, which is awesome. I believe we're finally going to go inside that little tank, or that little running tank that we saw in the video. So I'm really excited for that. So many things to look forward to in Destiny, like always, and we're going to be here with you guys, bringing each and every one of those news to you, especially the stuff about the colorblind community, because we care a lot.
We do care.
Well, yeah, that was pretty much the TWAB. But now we're going to turn into the lore corner, or story time with Snail, which we like to say. Snail, you, my friend, have the floor. Take it away.
I do, yes. So funny you should say about tying stories together, as if you lined me up for the conversation we're going to have. Well done, sir. So last week we talked about the Savada assassination attempt. I was hopeful that Amtech was involved, and sure enough, Amtech is mentioned. And why do we know this? So also last week we talked about the fact that the flavor text was missing, and no one knew what flavor text was, apart from Jesse. Jesse knows everything, apparently. The flavor text is the lore tab, and the palindrome lore tab finally uncovers what's been going on behind the scenes. And actually, this is a story that's been in the making for well over a year, and Amtech is involved to some extent. So we're putting more meat on the bones, really. So the palindrome lore tab talks about Urix. Now, who is Urix? So Urix is a scion who's been around quite a while, and is mentioned in another bit of story to do with Catabias. So we're going back to the Glycon for a second, and what's been going on there. So we'll come back to that in a second. But Urix is an interesting character, and the lore tab talks about her love for Amtech and Amtech's revenge on the Guardians, and also talks about the sundial and what happened with the sundial. So we've talked about the sundial before. We've also talked about Amtech before, from the fact that her sisters were the people killed on the sundial, and the sundial was about reworking the Red War in order for the Red War to be a win for the Cabal, not for us. So interestingly, in the Catabias story, he talks about Urix for a second. So that's probably the first time we'll hear Urix mentioned. I have a just returning voice actress who's going to tell me the bit of lore that's mentioned in the Catabias story with an accent that matches Urix and Quintig.
Right. I'll be doing this in my best Italian accent.
Okay.
Quinzix surfaces from the hatch and kneels behind us, besides us, my bad. This is Urix's ghost. She will not reveal to us. She's Red Legion. Callus would see her executed. Scions fly many colors, but within the Cabal we exist. In Congress, moving towards our future. She will recognize my contribution as I hers. Quinzix says, stepping forward. Boom.
Thank you, my voice actress. Perfect Italian accent. Although why a sign would be Italian is beyond me. More
Sounded
of a Russian
good.
twang, I would have thought.
I went with my palette.
Well done. So interesting here, because this is a scion in Urix that has been mentioned by another scion in Quinzig, and being recognised as Urix being part of the Red Legion and Callus wanting her dead. And also someone that we're going to be telling on someone. And we've seen this a lot through the stories that we've got coming through, that actually the scions seem to be breaking away from the Cabal and doing their own little thing behind the scenes. There is a conclave of scions that are working together, which is really interesting, all in the name of Amtech. So Amtech was the one who dropped, obviously, Almighty onto the tower, and has a deep hate for the Guardians, and one Guardian in particular being Zavala. The story of the Paladrone starts to talk about what Urix is up to. So Urix is using that light device that was used in the Red War to obviously restrict the Guardian's light.
Yeah.
She is the first to use it as a weapon outside of that. So the little lore piece on the Paladrone says that she's stalking her prey, being a Guardian. She gets loads of Cabal killed by the Guardian. The Guardian then gets shot by Urix, and then they wait for the Ghost to revive the Guardian. They then swap weapons to this new light gun that they've got that disables the Ghosts, and they then kill the Ghost. Thus Guardian dead, all in the name of Amtech's vengeance. So there's a piece here around, actually, is Amtech still alive, because they talk about her vengeance and not her in a first person terms. But scarily, we've got a group of scions that are working against the Guardians, separate to the Cabal, which is quite scary, because scions are a very strong race of people that we see in the background of Cabal, and not really in the forefront, but they seem to be coming more and more into the story. So it's going to get really interesting, and to tie stories together, to see Urix mentioned in the Catabias Glycon bit, and then come into the actual assassination attempt on Zavala. So that killing of a Guardian was then followed up by the assassination attempt on Zavala. So they wanted to do it without anyone knowing. But there's a conclave of scions looking for vengeance. Watch this space. I think we'll see more of them. End of story time.
Very interesting, man. That's good to know, especially like you said, the scions being almost like a background character in, you know, some of the stories of the Cabal history, and now they're getting their time in the front stage, which is kind of awesome. It's pretty neat. Really appreciate it, Snail. Thank you for that. And the story will continue, like you said, each week. We're finding new things. Hopefully, we'll get to see a nice lore tab on how Zavala and Lord Saladin are going to fist fight in the middle of the tower. That's going to be pretty good.
For Ikora.
For Ikora. Well, yeah, keep in mind, Ikora is going to have a significant role next season. I'm actually looking forward to that, because we haven't heard her talking about 3 seasons or 2 seasons. So before she tried to kill every single one of them by creating a Vex gate in the tower. That's the last time we heard from Ikora. So, but anyway, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. That's pretty much the show for the week. a little bit later than usual, but we got it done. Any other things? Any other final thoughts on the TWAB you guys want to bring out? Anything in your mind?
I think Betty White can take the baby dragon also.
Betty White. You're talking about 99-year-old Betty White. That's what you're talking about, right?
When I saw that it was celebrity against, I mean, the way they named it, I was thinking Betty White. So I think that she could probably take both of them.
I don't know.
Put that out there.
The way Snail's talking to me about, some of the Scions, I think Scions can pretty much take everybody out nowadays.
Yeah.
No. It's going to be interesting to make them an antagonist, because if you go against a Scion, I've always thought that the Scions were a little bit more powerful than the Cabal that they supported, because they've got that purple thing that, they can shoot like across the freaking map, that you get bumped off. How many times have we actually just told each other, watch out for the Scion because you're going to get booped off the map?
Yeah.
And then we end up in, in orbit or something because of one of them. So it'd be interesting to see them turn into the real antagonist for a while.
It's quite funny that the Scions and Cabal drop ships, or drop pods, are more lethal than the Cabal themselves.
I know.
That's the only thing you get killed by is a drop pod or a Scion.
Those drop pods are crazy. If you think about the Scions, especially like the Sundial, we fought against the sisters of Amtech.
Sisters,
yeah, sisters.
Amtech's 3 sisters.
Yeah, and each of them had the element, that they're the same elements that we do as Guardians. They had the Arc, they had the Void, they had the Solar, which is, I don't think Cabal enemies themselves have the power to wield that as well, but I think only the Scions have that, right? Am I mistaken? Is that, yeah, so that's
they
very
only have
interesting.
shields and weapons, basically. Shields, weapons.
Because they have space magic too. Those Scions have space magic, man. I mean, I just remember doing those sundials, and one of those guys will call that electricity from this air. Somebody will call the void, that little void thing that will encapsulate you and kill you and stuff. Yeah, that was actually, I'm kind of missing the sundials. This would have been a perfect season to bring that back, I think, as a like a secondary mission where you can go in there with 6 friends, or that was a 6-man activity, right? If I remember correctly.
It was, yeah.
Yes, it was.
We need more 6-man activity. They should have definitely unvaulted that or bring that back. That was actually really, really fun to do. But anyway, we can talk about this all day and every day, but that's the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. This was episode 22. Next week, we'll be back, hopefully, on our regularly scheduled time, but we will see. Anyway, the show's a little bit late. The episode will be dropping later today. Make sure you check it out. We're still trying to mess with the YouTube thing. I'm trying to figure out a way where we can drop the episodes there, but still keep the podcast audio going for you guys. But we will give you more news as more episodes progress. All right. My name is Vega. You can find me online, Xbox Live. It's Vega 6417. That's my gamer tag. You can find me on not on Instagram. My Instagram is pretty boring. Don't. I need to update my stuff in there. But you can find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is Jasubius, and also check out the podcast Twitter that we have. It's at Warlocks 3. That's also on Twitter as well. And something that I'm going to be doing personally every Thursday. I need to talk to the powers that be, which is my family. Make sure I have a little extra time, which I do on Thursdays. Is I'm going to be streaming 2 hours of content, Destiny content, on my Twitch channel. I'm going to do that once every week, every Thursday, and it could range from strikes, Crucible, Gambits. I just recently fell in love with a character that I've never played, and I have fun and I am enjoying playing the Titan character. So I'm going to be probably working on that a little bit more and putting out that content. So my Twitch channel will be there. So if you can find me on Twitch if you want. And it's under twitch.com/triple-vega. I've talked way too much. Now I'm going to let my other host, say a few things. Go ahead, guys.
We are not going to change from 3 Warlocks to 2 Warlocks and a Cooldown Meter. So you need to get over this love of yours with the Titan. Okay. That being said, my name is Ness1. I can be found on Twitch and Xbox. Please follow me on Twitch. Alexis B1 is my personal Insta, and we have now a Facebook and an Instagram for genuine_apathy. So that's our plan.
Woo.
So please follow us.
Cool. Well, I'm Wooden Snail 2268. You know the drill by now. There's too many wooden snails, but only one good one, which is me. Although I was told the other week that they'd look for 2267 and invite into the clan. But I think
did.
Ness deletes any invites that come through quite quickly. So
I did
I'm
him
sorry
so
for
many times.
2267. You can find me all over the place. You know where I am these days. I did stream last week. I will attempt to stream more often just so you can see what's going on with us. And I'll try and stream the GM we do later if I get a chance to. And I'll finally say, go Wales for the Grand Slam.
Yes, cool. So tell us about what's going on. What's so important about today that everybody would know? You sent us a nice video explaining to us why this day is pretty much like your second Christmas, I guess you could say, or this is pretty much the equivalency of our Super Bowl happening for Snail. In other words, so what's happening? So tell the listeners what's happening today.
So this is Super Saturday, where it's the final of the Six Nations rugby tournament. Between Six Nations being England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and France and Italy. Wales have won all their games, so they're already the Triple Crown champions because they beat the old enemy, as in England, Scotland, and Ireland. Grand Slam means they beat everybody. They're practically the champions for the fact that they can only be beaten by France if France beat them today. So today, 8 o'clock, France versus Wales. Wales going for another Grand Slam, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's a big thing for the nation. This nation I live in are very rugby passionate. The whole nation come together for this particular occasion. Every international, the whole of Wales comes together.
Awesome. Dude, that is awesome. Well, sending you positive vibes. Hope everything works out for your country and for your team. The only thing I know about rugby is that it's pretty rough. When I watch it, it's pretty violent.
We don't need pads.
You guys don't need pads, that's for sure. That's for damn sure. Not sure about the laws, not sure about the rules, but it's always fun
just
to
hit
watch
each other, right?
Yeah. So that was our episode for today, guys. We'll see you guys next week, and always remember,
when in Rome.